Welcome, welcome. I've been doing some digging, and what I have found, I cannot explain. So I'm going to lay it out here for you exactly the way that I found it, piece by piece. And you tell me what it adds up to. There is a book, one book, published in 1914. Inside of that book, there are two stories. Between them, they predicted two of the most catastrophic events in modern American history: the Titanic and Pearl Harbor, years before either one of them happened. Written by the same man, sitting in the same room, alone. His name was Morgan Robertson. He was born on September 30th of 1861 in Oswego, New York. His father was a ship captain on the Great Lakes. At 16 years old, Morgan, he ran away to sea, guys. He spent 9 years in the Merchant Marine. He even rose to first mate. Then he left the sea. He trained as a diamond setter in New York. He did that for 10 years until the work started destroying his eyesight. So he picked up a pen instead. He never made much money. He never got famous. He just wrote sea stories for magazines like McClure's and the Saturday Evening Post. That's the man. Unremarkable on paper. Now here's where it gets interesting. Story 1. 1898. Robertson writes a novella called Futility. The ship in the story, the Titan, largest ship ever built, deemed unsinkable, British owned, carrying as few lifeboats as the law would allow. On a voyage in April, the Titan strikes an iceberg on her starboard side, North Atlantic, 400 nautical miles from Newfoundland, around midnight, and she goes down. Most passengers die. That is the story Robertson wrote in 1898. Now here is what actually happened. April 14th of 1912. 14 years later, the Titanic, the largest ship ever built, deemed unsinkable, British owned, too few lifeboats, strikes an iceberg, also on the starboard side, North Atlantic, 400 nautical miles from Newfoundland, around midnight, goes down, and most of the passengers die. Now, I need you to understand what I mean when I say precise, because a skeptic will say ships hit icebergs. It's a coincidence. So let me give you the file. The Titan, 800 feet long. The Titanic, 882 feet. The Titan, traveling at 25 knots on impact. The Titanic, 22 and a half. The Titan, 24 lifeboats. The Titanic, 20. Both ships, capacity of 3,000 passengers. Both ships, starboard bow. Both ships, April, midnight, 400 nautical miles from Newfoundland, 14 years apart. That is not a guess. That is a transcript. When the Titanic went down in 1912, the world went looking for Robertson's book. They found it, and the questions hit like cold water. How did he know? Robertson's public answer? He denied being a psychic. He said he was a sailor. He said he understood the arrogance of the industry. He said any informed man could have seen it coming. Fine. I'll give him that. Except he also said something else, and this is in Robertson's own words now, not mine. He said, "I do not doubt that it is because all creative workers get into a hypnoid, telepathic, and percipient condition, in which, while apparently awake, they are half asleep. They tap not only into the better informed minds of others, but the subliminal realm of the unknown facts." He continued, "Some believe that in this realm there is no such thing as time. And that partly explains prophecy. This is the man who wrote the Titanic 14 years before it sank, explaining how he did it. He wasn't saying that he made it up. He was saying that he tapped into something where time doesn't exist. I'll let that sit for a second. Now, story 2, same book, same author, 1914. Robertson writes a story called Beyond the Spectrum. In it, Japan does not declare war on the United States. Instead, Japan launches a surprise attack on the American naval fleet. The attack targets ships en route to the Philippines and Hawaii. The attack happens in December. Robertson wrote that in 1914. Pearl Harbor. December 7th of 1941, a surprise Japanese attack, no declaration of war. Hawaii 27 years later, same man, same book, same impossible precision. Morgan Robertson, he died in March 24th of 1915, found in his hotel room at the Almanac Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He was 53 years old and he never saw Pearl Harbor. He never knew how right he was the second time. He spent the last 3 years of his life watching 1,500 people die inside of a story that he wrote alone in a room 14 years earlier. Think about that. Now, here is where I land. The skeptics have an answer. Robertson was informed. He was logical. Robertson saw the patterns and he followed them to the conclusion. And I respect that. But here's what I cannot get past. Robertson himself did not believe that. A man who wrote the words. He told you in his own voice that he tapped into a realm where time does not exist. That the future was already written. Yeah, and something let him read it. Twice. Now, I'm the historical private eye. I follow the evidence. I don't decide what it means for you. But the evidence is this. One man, one book, 2 catastrophes, both predicted with surgical precision, years before they happened. And the man himself said, he didn't write it alone. I'll let you draw your own conclusions. I'll see you in the shadows.